Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bops cast and the first cast of the D2LA long-form tournament. Very exciting, very exciting to get on into this with some pretty spooky dooky teams. And to cast this game with me, I have the one, the only, Ilstaya here to cast alongside me. Ilstaya, do you want to say hi?
What up?
It's good to have you back, Ilstaya. Some people have been stepping in your stead, but you are the one and only numero uno boo. But shout out to some of those other guys and girls who came along, did an awesome job while you were taking a break, resting your ears and recovering. Now, guys, you might notice that this draft is moving a little bit more rapidly. The reason that it is moving pretty quickly is because I believe they're doing a 4-man draft before they jump on in to the proper game. It looks like one of the players is struggling to connect. So we'll see how we go. And one more thing before we start talking about the draft, Ilstaya, I just want to give a big old shout out to Unknown User for the follow, Ipis for the follow as well, another awesome name, and Jandals coming in with the raid. I don't know if any of his viewers are still here because it's such a freaking delay, but if any of you are still here, thank you for coming along, having some fun, joining the Bops stream. I hope you all enjoyed a bit of egg in the downtime. I can see all of you cuties in there. Okay, Ilstaya, how are you feeling about the draft so far? Bounty, Omni, Clock, Brisbane, Invoker, SD, Primal Beast, which is a bit odd, and Morphling into the Visage Shadow Fiend. Anything catching you by surprise?
I'm a little bit surprised by the, excuse me, the Primal Beast ban, but I think Nahaj does play it, and I think he had a really good game on it when we cast him last, if I recall correctly. And the Morphling as well, we saw MGC play a really good game last week.
Yeah, what tournament was that in?
I can't remember.
Oh, was that in? Yeah, we cast so much. I think that was in the best of one Sundays that they do, wasn't it? Or he ripped up on that Morphling in that game. He looked great. He had Taco alongside him, tearing the game to pieces.
I truly don't remember. But I can't say I'm surprised to see a Visage first pick when they have MGC and Ham. I don't know who's playing what role, but both of those players like to play Visage. So it could be maybe potentially, depending on, again, who's playing what role, it could even be a support Visage, potentially. Oh, hell yeah. I love Ogre.
Now, this hero has been jumping up in the meta. I think all right, remember how you were saying you didn't really believe in the Omni Knight? I love Ogre. I have 300 games on the hero. One of my favorites, but I just can't seem to get it to work. And I've tried the pro build stuff, and I still just don't rate it. But then it's getting picked, and it's winning. So I don't know that I'm a believer yet. Maybe one of these players can make me a believer, Ilstaya.
I didn't know it was rising the meta, because I remember we were talking about it like after TI, where it was unpicked and unbanned, and I said that I thought it was a undervalued hero.
You did? I don't
think it's
actually
top tier, but I think it's not as bad as some people make it out to be. The problem is just kind of like, you really want to farm on the hero, but then he also doesn't actually farm that fast. And so it's this kind of weird thing where like he works better as a support, but you almost want to have like the levels in gold that a all would have. I need to block Connor from sending me party invitations. But yeah, and I mean, some heroes can make such good use of Bloodlust. You know, heroes that might not necessarily build tons of attack speed.
Even just popping it onto like Visage and his birds, pretty good. You get a multicast onto the birds and Visage, and bada bing, bada boom. That's a tower going down. There's nothing you can do about it. So keen to see how it plays. Also, better introduce the teams as well, because I didn't actually do that, and they've actually, one of them has an incorrect name. So in this D2LA, as you guys know, the captains got to pick their teammates. So we're going to see players playing together that you wouldn't normally see play together, which makes for some really bloody interesting Dota. So this stack here, which had Captain RFA, is Team Unreliable. They're against, I believe it was, who was it that was in charge of Tango Mafia? I don't remember who their captain was. Ari. It was Ronaldo who was their captain, and I believe they called BegN for a PegN. Which is an absolute. Absolutely awesome name. So keen to see them kick against each other. Do you recognize any of these players, Ilstaya? I reckon you do.
Yes, friends with a few. I've seen a lot of them in pubs and in a lot of the other tournaments that are around that we've cast. So relatively familiar with everyone. The ones I know the least are probably Africa and Taco, but I've still seen a few of their games.
Yeah, the craziest part is we've seen a bunch of them now. They've just sort of burst into the tournament scene, and we're seeing them heaps. Africa looking really good, and I cast a game that Taco played the other night, and holy did he look good. He played a Clockwork and just controlled the entire game. Like, just put the pain. And he wasn't against, like, a garbage stack. He was against Minichin stack. There was some really
that
good...
is a garbage stack.
There's some really good players. And Taco schooled them. So I will be paying much more attention to him. Camby was the one who put me across him, but now I'm watching Taco nonstop. And Africa, super talented as well. So keen to see what he can do. And this new player I've never seen before, Illadine. Keen to see what he can do, so...
Yeah, he's a huge noob, so we can't expect too much from Illadine.
Yep. But keen to see these teams clash. Also, shout out to all the guys and girls in chat. I know you all waited so long. Thank you for being so patient. I'm not even sure whether or not we might be... whether they'll be going to a remake after this. I'm pretty sure they will, because I can see that Ari's not here in the drafting phase, so we might see a remake after this draft. If that is the case... I may just disappear for a little bit while they remake the lobby, but I wasn't going to miss the draft. So thank you, all you cuties, for being here, every single one of you. And I did see Jubei throwing out an absolutely huge Ilstaya, because I know Jubei is always here and wanted to support you, Ilstaya. They've been here. They've been here the whole time while you were gone, and here they are dropping a massive Ilstaya emoji because they're happy you're back. So let's freaking go. All right. So, let's talk about the draft. Tusk, Hoodwink, Troll, we see a Medusa ban, a Sand King ban, pretty strong heroes, not super surprised by that. Anything else that's catching off guard? Where's my Dota sound?
The Abaddon, I know it's been popular, but I actually have not seen it a whole lot, or also banned, even though it has, I think, still quite a high win rate. Honestly, I kind of prefer, so far, Radiant's draft. Just overall, I think they've got some really gross stuff to combine with the Visage and the Troll, like the Tusk. If he goes tag team, and Ogre's Bloodlust, like we talked about. You know, you get that multicasting, and you get a pumped up Visage in his birds, and a Troll won't complain about having extra attack speed to start with, obviously, because you know he does have a lot of attack speed once he's got his stacks up, but the faster he can get them up is even better, and you don't want to be building, you know, attack speed on the hero because you have it inbuilt.
But yeah, that's it. It's those first few hits. It's sort of the same with Huskar as well, right? When you've got these heroes that like do get that hyper accelerated attack speed, they're not going to build attack speed for themselves. Maybe they get it passively off of an item, but they themselves are not going to be rushing like a Mjolnir or anything like that. Having Ogre drop the Bloodlust, I mean, if Troll gets his first 4 or 5 hits off much faster, then he gets to that super chain attack that he gets, where he just roots you permanently, and it's nothing you can do about it. Much faster. So I 100% agree with you, and I think that's going to be really cool. If they can sort of kite him a bit though, which I'm a little worried about. Hoodwink's got the Bushwhack. Abaddon can sort of kite him because Abaddon's got his ult, so he can soak a lot of the Troll ult, which could be a bit of a problem. Puck's hard for him to lock down as well. So, but he does sort of annihilate a Shadow Fiend if he gets on top of him. Problem is, can he get on top of him? I guess with Snowball, probably.
Yes, and I think if this is, we're assuming it's a POS 5 Abaddon. SF normally play POS 1 now and mid puck. Yeah, that is kind of a way that you can deal a little bit with the Troll ulti, is if you have your own ulti up, he's getting low, you know he's going to pop it, you run into melee range and you force him to waste his ulti hitting you. I mean, he'll still heal up, but you can kind of, you know, delay him from killing your SF or your puck, who can definitely die. Yeah, if the Troll is on top of them and rooting them, you know, a lucky root means death sometimes for some heroes.
100%. The amount of times I have been squealing the last year and a half when I get hit with a freaking Glipnir when I'm not even the target. I'm hiding in the trees and the POS 1 walks too close to the trees and they Glipnir the POS 1 and then it's me getting freaking rooted because they got lucky. Gotta hate Glipnir. I'm so furious. Ilstaya. Get it out of my game. Get it out of here. And Naj is gonna go with the Prophet. Alright, I like the Prophet. I like it.
And game 1 over, rating
Game 1
victory.
over,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it is like we said, it looks like they're going to do a remake, and I reckon they probably have already started, but we'll have to wait and see here. I can see Dean is still at the menu there, so we'll just wait a second. But at least we know what the drafts are now. So we saw Naj lock in that Death Prophet for the final pick there. How do you feel about the Death Prophet?
I think it actually kind of works nicely with their draft. If they hit sort of a pretty strong early tempo, they can just take down all of the towers, tier 1s and tier 2s with a DP and a Visage. And that also opens up Roche for them. So I like the DP, even though I don't feel like DP a lot of the time lately is some crazy pick. It does also feel at least stable, unless you catastrophically lose your lane for some reason. She still does her job that she's always done, which is, you know, be very tanky, take down towers, take Roche, force you to either fight into Exo or disengage. But I do like the what was it, Centaur from
yeah, I think that Centaur is exactly what they needed. Centaur with an Abaddon behind him is gonna be able to get on top of that troll, stun him at a pretty critical moment. These sort of things, and it's we were talking about. I think it was you and me that were talking about how reliable Mars is as a POS 3 at the moment. Like you just lock it if it's there because it gives you so much. Centaur, while he has been nerfed a little bit by the bracer changes, still feels like a pretty reliable 3, right? Can you? Is there anything you think that any reason you wouldn't pick a Centaur besides obvious counters?
No, I mean, yeah. Even if he doesn't have a good lane and doesn't get to become some oppressive hero that's standing on top of people's faces, he still offers a pretty good stun, and his ulti is it's such a strong ulti to have for a team. And I like it in this draft because they have the Abaddon to help protect the SF, but probably that wouldn't be enough. So the fact that they can also get the Puck or SF out of dodge, you know, without even having to have the Centaur, you know, on the same screen as them. You know, you just pop ulti, they run away, or the Abaddon can run in to shield them in time if he's, you know. So yeah, I like the Centaur pick.
Centaur ult, I think every single person in the game who plays Dota knows how good Centaur ulti is. But I don't know that it ever gets heralded as one of the best ultis in the game, and I really think it is just one of the, like, it's a whole team disengage, a whole team re-engage, a save for yourself, a global save for a POS 1. Like, it is so strong, that Centaur ult. And so I think if you lock Centaur, even if he has a terrible time, having that ult is still just such a boon to your team, such a huge boon.
Yeah, it's not some, you know, spell that is like flashy or could be like, oh my god, you know, a massive echo slam or something like that. But it's just so stable. It always provides great value both aggressively and defensively. That being said, if a Tusk, you know, shards someone in, even if they can Centaur ulti, it kind of wastes a little bit of the time. Plus, obviously, if Troll's rooting someone, you know, they can't run.
Okay,
but aside from that, they don't have the best stunts.
Let's see if they can put it to work in this game. This is the very first game, Break the Champagne Bottle of D2LA long-form tournament. I'm pretty excited to see these players clash, and I might just wait before I introduce them because there's a bit of a smoke going on here, and I do not want to miss it. Ward already down. Rain just boldly going where his team will follow. So, all right, looks like they're going to disengage. So let's get these teams introduced for Team Radiant. And that is Team Unreliable. We have RFA on the Tusk, MGC on the Troll Warlord, Naj on the Death Prophet, Tarkon on the Ojo Magi, and Hem on the Visage, he's been playing this hero heaps lately. And for Team Dire, that is Team BegN for a PegN. We've got Africa on Puck, Ari on the Shadow Fiend, Illidan on the Hoodwink, Pee-wee on the Abaddon, Rain on the Centaur Warrunner. Ooh, and a bit of an initiation immediately from the boys on Team Unreliable. Nah, bit of a wash. RFA going to take a bunch of damage, and they're all going to back off.
Yeah, a nice Sire Shards, but it's a support Abaddon that has shield, so no real point committing to kill him.
Okay, well, pretty keen to see how this all shakes up, Ilstaya, because like I said, we're seeing players play with each other that we normally wouldn't see play with each other, and that is very, very exciting for me. MGC getting absolutely bullied down here, by the way. I have to walk back before we can come out to lane.
RFA was trying to bully the SF, but he's now been getting zoned instead.
So who wins in this Tusk Abaddon lane? I feel like Tusk wins a lot of lanes, but Abaddon's going to be hard, I think, for him to man mode into.
I mean, I think ideally they're going to be going in on the SF instead of the Abaddon. But yeah, it's always going to be hard when there's going to be a shield waiting. Sort of quell any aggression.
Little range creep secure there by RFA.
As for mid, I think this is relatively even. Harsha's putting a lot of pain onto Africa, but no real chance of killing the Puck unless he makes a mistake.
I feel like we see Africa play more POS 1, right? Is this the first time we've seen him play mid? I think it is.
Yeah. On his other team for D2LA, is it?
Yeah,
he's POS 1, so interesting to see if... I mean, he's Platinum tier Puck, so he must be a mid player as well.
I feel like one of the Puck is one of those heroes that everyone has Platinum tier on, because the hero is just so absolutely fun to play. Like, I just love playing Puck, and I think everyone does. But I don't play him well, even though I have Platinum tier. So let's see if Africa can play him better than I do. I hope so. God, I hope so.
I feel like Puck is one of the most, like... one of the heroes with the most potential to outplay and either get a kill or survive because of that. So, yeah, I think that's why it's so strong as well, is because like the kit has been pretty much unchanged, and it's just it always. Even if you're behind on Puck, you can still be really hard to kill. Sometimes,
yeah, for sure.
Depending on lineup, and the Radiance lineup here, they don't have the greatest tools to deal with a Puck. I mean, unless the Visage gets like an Atos or an Orchid, which it wouldn't surprise me. But like, their only other sort of really good stun is Fire Blast, which is such a short range.
Now,
I mean, DP Silence, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, will Puck have to get the Yules for the DP Silence, or you think he just pucks out and dodges the Silence each time?
I think it'll depend on Africa's early game. If he's having a good game, he might skip getting a Yules or something until a little bit later. But if he's getting pressured a lot, he probably will prioritize it earlier. I mean, this Silence used to be, back in the day, undodgeable because there was no projectile.
I remember.
The projectile is pretty slow, so... Yeah, I mean, if Africa's confident that he can dodge it, but it'll be more a problem of like, you know, an Ogre stun or something like that into a Silence would be definitely very scary for a Puck.
Okay. Well, offlane's going about how I expected to go, seeing as there is a Visage in this lane, and Visage just every 4 seconds nukes the absolute butts out of heroes. There we go, there's the nuke straight onto Ari. Ari in a whole bunch of trouble, getting healed by the Abaddon. The Abaddon is actually putting some pain onto the Tusk and the Visage. The Visage is already dead, and now the Tusk to follow. Pee-wee taking a double kill, but Ham does take out Ari beforehand, so... yeah.
Ari had an 8 charge on his wand, so I don't know if he just died too fast. But that is it's a first blood for the Visage, and also a death toll one. I mean, it was only level 2, so what was that? An extra 140 gold, but that's still a lot.
I was trying to run down this Puck here, but Dean has come to shut him down. Out goes the Bushwhack, a bit of a nuke coming out from Africa. Africa might think about following. Out comes the Fairy Fire to try and keep Naj alive, but not gonna be enough. Naj eating away a kill to the Puck. Beautiful rotation from Illidan there.
Yeah, nice TP in to help protect his mid laner, and they get a kill for it. That's the best you can hope for. You know, sometimes your mid laner dies, but you get a kill anyway, and it's not as worth. But the thing to know is that I'm seeing here with last hits and denies, this SF is struggling quite badly.
I mean, look, to be fair, it's into a Visage, and I've played into this Visage so much lately. I think almost every game I've played, the Visage offlane is there, and it is so oppressive. You stand near a creep and you just get nuked. He right-clicks you, he slows you, he drops the attack speed buff on you, hits you with the freaking Soul Assumption, and that's it. You're half HP, if not a third HP, so very hard lane.
I mean, it is, but just not CSing well, I think, honestly, is a big part of it here for RE. Maybe a bit rusty on SF. He's Platinum, but he has been playing POS 1. And this is, I think, the first time I've seen him play... Oh, we got a DC. I think this is the first time I've seen him play SF, at least in like a tournament game, so maybe a little bit rusty. I mean, the hero doesn't have the greatest base damage to begin with. But that's what he's got races for, so...
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing too, is you can use the razors to secure creeps. That is a tool that is in the Shadow Fiends kit. Alright, brief pause. May as well have a bit of a shout out to the Twitch chat. Good to see you all you cuties out there. I can see Jube. I can see Zara in there. Show you just absolutely talking shite. I see Octagon Cody's here. And Speak. So many cuties. Zenzak as well. Absolute legends. I love you all very much. Thank you for coming by, having some fun with me and Ilstaya. Okay, so Naj having the best game in this game. We were talking about how difficult the Shadow Fiends lane has been, but I mean, have a look at the lane that this Puck is having, and maybe in a bit of trouble here, having to pop all the rege, and he has Africa in a whole bunch of trouble. Naj running him down with the Exorcism.
Yeah, a nice sequence of events from Nahaj there. Knowing that the Puck had used Orb, so it was on cooldown. I mean, he was silenced as well, but he took so much damage in such a brief, in such a brief amount of time. And now the best part, he's probably going to get the tower for it. Oh, although
Puck coming, doesn't have 6 yet, so can't stop him from rolling away. But I mean, even getting that much damage on a tower at 6 minutes is pretty substantial. So I think
you definitely. I mean, the fact that he got a solo kill with it, and most of the tower is like almost exactly what you want from your first EXO usage. But both offlaners here have quite a few denies. Both safe laners struggling a little bit in this lane.
Tell me, how is Dean so high level? I know he just grabbed a wisdom rune, but he's level 5 to the troll and ogre level 4. I mean, Rain was level 4. Rain was behind him for a second there. Rain still is behind him in XP. Where's this?
It would have been that kill on the DP.
Oh, of course,
a juicy bit of XP, because obviously Nahaj was ahead of the Puck, so.
Ooh, aggression onto Ari. Ari turning and trying to man-fight him, just turning back around, dodging. Oh, yeah. Managing to dodge the raise, but it's not going to matter. They do have the damage to put it down. Naj now coming for Pee-wee. Pee-wee doesn't have his 6 yet, so he's in a whole bunch of trouble trying to pour it on out. Do they have a roll? They don't. And away he goes, so.
Yeah, nice TP.
No XP for him there, though, right? Yeah, XP goes the way of Ari.
He did get the death toll still, but.
Which has put him firmly on top of the net worth, hey.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic early game.
Oh, start onto Taco. Taco getting burst, but MGC actually thinking about playing forward onto Dean. Dean gets rooted for a second, but is faster than MGC. MGC trying to throw the clicks out, can't quite connect. Now, has to run on out of there himself. And Africa, he's a coming. He hungry. Oh, they drop these movement speed with the tag team, but it's not going to matter because they're hit by the coil. Down goes that troll, and I think it's going to probably be a death onto RFA. No? Oh, Africa getting very, very low there. Has a shield rune, but almost popped it a little bit too late. I'll probably just walk RFA down now. There it is.
Yeah, and I just realized that RFA went for drinking buddies, which we know is like, you know, the go-to. Obviously, we saw it so much at TI. But I feel like if there was a game for tag team, this would have been it. I mean, Visage Birds would just melt.
I think I called it tag team there as well.
Yeah, you did, but that's what made me realize, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, he doesn't have tag team. He's got drinking buddies. Like yeah, like I was saying, this is the preferred one, but I think in this game, tag team could have been really strong.
I mean, tag team with Troll and those birds is pretty bloody good, but so is drinking buddies as well. And they've actually managed to find this Abaddon. His ult's gonna go off, but I'm not sure he can survive this. Shadow Fiend thinking about popping his ult at the top of the stairs. Does, and it's a fear, which pushes Naj away for now.
Yeah, nice ult. He is just protecting his pos 5 though, so I would have done it.
Oh, Pee-wee bumping into him. Ham putting the pain down. Now comes the Centaur roll. Now Africa is actually on top of Ham himself. Bit of pain. They try and drop the drinking buddies to get him on out of there. He turns and tries to drop the nuke. The nuke does connect onto the Puck. Puck landing next to Naj, but Ari walking in and cleaning up Ham. And now Puck dodging the snowball in a whole bunch of trouble. Actually manages to get on out of there. The Familiar's putting a bit of pain onto him, but Ari stealing that kill straight onto RFA with his raise. Beautiful raise there, by the way. Nice read.
And that's two lasting presence stacks. And also, meanwhile, bottom MGC went down to the Hoodwink and the Centaur. So, not a good sort of minute for Radiant there. He's going for Atos on Nahaj on the DP, which it's nice, but Puck can still phase shift and essentially waste, you know, I mean, even dodge the projectile, but you know, even if you are rooted, you can still phase shift. So I don't like it as much as other catch items against a Puck, but...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I was just rattling around in my brain just then. If the Visage can't kill the Abaddon, and it can't catch the Rat, and it can't kill the Puck, and it can't kill the Centaur, what's it do in this game? Hang on, hold that thought. Coil onto two heroes. They've caught RFA and he's silenced, but he's just gonna back on out. Well, I said he couldn't catch the Puck, but he actually got the stun off. Looks like Puck is able to get on out of there. Snowball to try and save Ham. Ham in a whole bunch of trouble. He's actually rolling him in. Ham will be going down any second now. Down he goes, and they actually pop the center roll to try and catch more. RFA in a bunch of trouble up to the right there. Down he's going to go, and they found Taco in the trees. Taco trying to put out. Rain gets the stun. Down goes the Ogre, and that's 3 more kills for Team BegN for a PegN.
It was beautiful snowball save from RFA. It only delayed the Visage's death, but he was going to go down regardless. I think the Visage can, but definitely kill the Puck and the Hoodwink, and even potentially the SF depending on what item builds they both go. But because he's gone for the drums into a pipe, like, it's going to be really nice for his team, but it's not necessarily going to, you know, provide that sort of assassin-style Visage that can sometimes just take over a game. Like, I like the pipe. It's a good game for a pipe, but I feel like maybe it would have been better served to be, like, the DP get in the Aura Assist game.
Well, what else does DP...
I
What else does DP buy these days besides auras? I guess you can get, like, a Shiva's? What else?
I mean, that's still an aura, like...
Yeah, it's still an aura in its own way.
Normally it's like, you know, yeah, Shivas and Yules and items that just make you tanky and hard to bring down. So yeah, I feel like maybe the DP should have been the aura build of this game and the Visage go for something like a Orchid into an Ags and just hunt the Puck, hunt the SF, hunt the Hoodwink.
Well, Rain doing what we've seen Rain do in a bunch of games, which is hyper-accelerating from the position 3. Always seems to have a pretty good lane, this guy. I mean, he is 9k or something, so of course he's going to have a good lane, but he always seems to do really well, and come out of his lane really well. I don't know if his team know the kind of player he is and create space for him, or he just farms very effectively. I'll have to go and watch a few of his games, but man is 6.3k in a game that has a Shadow Fiend in it, a very fast farmer, so... Doing
yeah,
well.
SF did struggle in lane. He has recovered, but he was not having a good first 5 minutes. In fact, it was quite a disastrous first 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, all 3 of the top net worth are 3 calls from Dire, so they're definitely very happy right now.
Bushwhack doesn't quite connect, though I do like the attempt from Dean there. Just throws it just in case someone's hiding in the trees. Doesn't quite connect onto the DP, so she backs up. That'll be the first... Yeah, I reckon that's probably going to open up the map a lot for them. I was going to say it's going to be like when they can start to make their first real movements. Now they're taking that top tower, but they have been making movements in the bottom lane anyway. This team doing a great job of avoiding them. They find Ham in the top lane. Uh-oh, Ham. Getting picked.
Yeah, he did get rid of the tower at the very least, but yeah, not ideal.
Okay.
Yeah, this puck has a haste rune in the bottle, has Witchblade. He's gonna look for a kill right now.
Oh, let's hope he doesn't find MGC. MGC needs to farm. Coil out onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet hit with the silence. Can't get her HP back if she is silenced. Slow coming out from Dean, but the Bushwhack doesn't quite connect. And now this team may have overextended. There's the center roll to get him out, and I reckon they will slip away there. Oh, that was going real bad real quick. And we were talking about how powerful that Centaur ult is. There it is from the other side of the map. Centaur saving his team.
Yeah, it can be so frustrating. I gotta say, I don't love Taco's skill build here. 3-1-1. The stun only scales in damage, and of course cooldown, but you're not getting a longer stun duration, and you're not getting more...
Oh, sorry, blink down on Rain. Rain actually landing directly on top of Ham. Ham taking a whole bunch of damage, and down he goes, he's already dead. That was very swift.
Yeah, he's gonna keep dying until he gets his pipe and more levels in Gravekeepers. Yeah, Taco. I'm not a fan of this. I think Ignite is just by far your best spell in terms of early game contribution. And if you aren't leveling it, then you go for Bloodlust and you just make your course accelerate. Having a bit of extra damage in Fire Blast, not worth it in my opinion. Because it's such a short range. Like, unless you have an Aether Lens, you're pretty much never casting it on any hero.
Okay, they pop Exorcism, and Naj gonna drop the root straight on to the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend hit with that stun we were talking about earlier, hit with the Warrior's Punch, and down he goes. Doesn't take much to burst him when he's on his own, and he's not clicking ya. So, nice little kill on Ari, all that gold going to Taco.
Yeah, it's great that they got the kill, but if they're not gonna get anything else with this extra, I think it's a little bit, not wasted, but you're missing out on some value, and I think they need to be getting a tower right now with it, whilst they see three heroes bottom. In fact, no, they know that 4 of the heroes bottom. So, I think Nahaj probably could have stayed to pressure the tower more.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen this many wards up and active on a map. Like, normally they're getting D-ward. One just went down in top lane, it ticked out, but there are just wards everywhere on this map. Dyer got some really good wards. Uh-oh, they found him again. Rain trying to get in range for the blink. Can't quite connect. Africa maybe giving up that play a little bit on accident. RFA, if you go out in the woods today, they're in for a big surprise. There is just a Rain on that low ground. Big scary Centaur. Drops the ice shards and backs on out. Oh, I know that feeling all too well when you're a support and you're like, I think they might be here, guys. Maybe they're smoked. And you step around the corner and 4 heroes appear in front of you, in front of your face.
Yeah, a little bit of wasted time from Dyer. So good for Radiant that they didn't get any kills. But I feel like Radiant need to be making some kind of play around the map here beyond just killing the SF before. They need to be getting a tower or Roche or something. Because I don't feel like right now they can fight head on. I just don't think they've got the damage to take down like a Centaur with Blade Mail, or a SF with an Abaddon behind him. If the Abaddon's not there, they can definitely kill anyone but the Centaur.
This Centaur is getting real scary. He's got his Vanguard now, and Puck just got his Blink as well. And I was actually thinking about it. Blink's quite good into DP's silence, right? If she tries to initiate with the silence and it does happen to catch you, and you don't take damage, and you got them quick fingers, then you just blink away. So also allows him to follow up the Centaur a little bit more. I actually quite like that little Blink pickup for him.
Yeah, I mean it's like a standard Puck item. But yeah, having the extra catch, so you're not necessarily relying on Centaur. And I just take a tier 2 for no contest, basically. Radiant need to get a tower for free themselves now, or Roche. I think they could have probably. I think MGC could have been hitting Roche whilst everything, like whilst I was sitting bottom. It's not fast, but if no one's coming.
Yeah, why not? Take the Roche, deny it. This feels like a game where you need to deny that Roche. Like, if Dire do manage to get their hands on an Aegis, they're probably going to think about knocking both of your outer towers and then walking straight at your high ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if this SF had an Aegis, like right now, they probably would just be threatening high ground potentially. Because why not?
Not super stacked, but he doesn't have an item coming. Hang on, what's he got? Okay, 4-star. He's got his Hurricane pack. Alright, he is actually a bit scarier than I thought he was.
I mean, when he gets level 15 and gets the... If he gets the Aura Effects buildings, especially with the Lasting Presence, it's so much minus armor for a tower. And Radiant give up another tower uncontested. I think it's hard for them to take a 5v5 fight, but I'm not sure if just letting them take tier 2s for no contest. But I guess they don't have any real safe D push against 2 heroes with Link.
They're gonna find Taco and Ham here, I think. Ham actually scouts him on the high ground. Taco putting on out. And a nice dodge. More time wasted, so they do secure the towers there for BegN for a PegN. They take both of those tier 2s, but they can't connect onto Team Unreliable as they just give him the dodge. MGC was first out, Taco, Ham to follow.
Yeah, good that they dodge, but they're losing. I mean, the tier 2 sorry, the tier 1 doesn't really matter, but I think they're just going to lose the tier 2. And I would assume... Oh, no, never mind. They actually did the Tormentor, and RFA got it.
One of the scariest things about this team playing forward and taking those towers are these deep wards. Like, look at the vision that's come out from Team BegN for a PegN. Like, they've got super deep vision. They know if they can't get to and gank the heroes on Team Unreliable that they want to, they at least know exactly where they are, which is why I think they're just so confident here, knocking on the door here, trying to bring them back.
Yeah, I will expect these wards to get dewarded because they are, all 3 of them, in very typical spots for when you're, you know, pushing up against the tower. So Radiant should know that more than likely they've put a ward down. They're rotating bottom looking for MGC, it looks like.
Sort of going both ways here. Tusk, likely to just port on out. Dean getting a read that something was up there, Illidean. He knew that there was something about it. In fact, I believe the Shadow Fiend pinged exactly where the Tusk was, so... Nice little read coming out from Team BegN for a PegN. They're going straight into that Roche pit, so...
Yeah... And I think it would be very hard for, even if Radiant knew, for them to contest. They're really lucky in damage at the moment, I feel. And especially against the Crimson now, like, the Visage Familiars aren't going to be doing any damage. Troll's damage is going to be really pathetic. Because until he gets a few more items, he, you know, once he builds up further stacks, he's attacking really fast, but it's relatively low damage. So Crimson is blocking a lot of that damage. Later on, sort of, you know, it won't be as impactful when, you know, even if the troll gets ags, you know, he can dispel the Crimson.
When it's a good Crimson game, like I don't, is Centaur still the hardest scaling strength hero in the game? He is, right? Strength and HP?
I don't know, but I would assume yes.
Like, and this...
Or one of the top 3.
Yeah, and this item, I mean, it scales off of HP, right? So it just feels so good when you can pick it up on Centaur. It makes your team feel so thick. Oh, I hear a coil, and they found MGC. Centaur rolled to try and get himself in there, and a stun is enough to deal with MGC. MGC caught with his pants down. We were talking about their vision. Vision coming into play there, catching him farming.
Yeah, and I think he probably should have known that they had vision there, although they don't actually have vision of the triangle, but you can, with those other wards, you can kind of guess. It's a pretty safe bet to assume that the enemy core is farming their triangle.
There was a little ward on the stairs near the mid-tier 2 tower. Just on, just on top of it.
Yeah, that expired.
It did just expire. Yeah, just expired. Which is... good, because that will free up a bit of space on the map for them. And it looks like they're just trying to play out and get as much gold as they can, but they're about to knock on their door, Ilstaya. I mean, this is it. This is the push that we were talking about. They've got the Aegis. And just like we said, Ari now just standing and attempting to man fight. Gonna try and hit him with a stun on the familiars. Puck going in and putting the silence down onto Visage. And Visage might be losing his birds here. Ari taking a bit of damage, but again, he does have an Aegis, so I don't think he cares. He's just standing and trying to click that tower. Backing up for now, at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, the birds die so quickly. So he has to be careful.
Right. All out of position. They're actually going to go in onto the squirrel. The squirrel having to get out of there as quickly as she can. Puck jumping forward and dropping the coil, but I don't know that the rest of Team BegN for a PegN can follow up. Africa taking a bit of damage. Beautiful bushwhack. Stops the counter initiation there. They stopped the centaur from getting away, but I think they realize they can't kill that centaur, Ilstaya.
Yeah, and Dire's just gonna keep going. Like, they didn't have to really use anything. They used coil and that was it.
Oh, beautiful stun coming out from Rain, catching two, but counter stun from the Yoga means that he can't follow up either. They managed to get the bushwhack off onto the DP. Beautiful save coming out from the Tusk. Playing forward now onto Rain, but I don't think they can kill this Rain. Naj actually popping his BKB. There's the center roll to try and get the disengage. They're caught. This Shadow Fiend in a whole bunch of trouble, but it's actually just turning and right-clicking. Holy! Tusk already dead. Down goes Ham to follow. Ari just strolling on in, finding the next target, finding the Troll. The Troll gets his ult off. He's been feared for a little bit, but will be turning and putting the clicks down. Rain in a whole bunch of trouble. MGC playing forward onto him. We'll get the clicks off. Rain getting very, very low, but they managed to burst the Troll. Troll is dead. And now, with the Troll down, this Dire team thinking about playing forward, Ilstaya. They'll be taking a Rax for sure, I think.
I think they're probably going to go for another as well, because they still have Aegis.
Pee-wee getting low on the back lines. Actually does go down to the Crypt Swarm. They do manage to burst that Troll, that Tusk, and that is his buyback as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Oh.
He's still got Aegis, so he'll be getting back up, and Puck jumps in with another coil. This Puck's coils all game have been phenomenal. Beautiful plays from Africa there, stopping them from following up on the Shadow Fiend.
I mean, I feel like we're seeing why SF is first pick material, even though he didn't have a good early lane. As soon as he actually gets a few kills, or in this case, a few moments to farm, he just comes online so quickly and just enables a push with his level 15 talent. It just outputs so much damage. Like, the Troll isn't crazy behind in net worth, but in terms of impactful, like, impact in a fight, it's very, very, very different. The Troll, and especially again fighting into a Crimson. I mean, they do have they've got a pipe on Radiant, but that's only half of SF's damage. The other half of his damage is physical, and he's amping up his own damage with his aura.
So scary, Shadow Fiend at the moment. Just such a terrifying hero. And you know what's crazy is it feels like such a glass cannon. Like, if you've got the team to jump him, he's worth nothing. But they really don't have that team here, and so he's able to just get away with absolute murder. Speaking of which, look at the high ground. Right click's coming out onto the tower.
Yeah, they do have some good ways to cover the SF this game, but yeah, no, you're right. There are games where the SF can just be jump on and die.
Oh, out comes the rod, but where's the dispel? I mean, he's just standing, he's man fighting, he's clicking, but hang on, he doesn't have his Aegis. He has a BKB though, would like to just pop it. Still gonna punch the tower, at least for now. 4 staffed out. I don't know that was the best use of his BKB, and I wonder if this team elects to chase him. Not while there's that big scary centaur in the way.
They're very ahead, so Africa's TPing out, so they're probably just gonna leave.
Africa going top and fighting MGC in a whole bunch of trouble. Coil ending any second, he busts the coil! Ooh! I mean, he's probably dead anyway, like he pops his ult, they kite him out and kill him, but...
Yeah, I mean... You're right, I don't think they die, but...
Crest in the patch, poor boy. Oh, no.
Like, he's going for a BKB, which he definitely needs to play.
Oh, initiation onto Taco. Rain putting the pain down onto Taco. And when it rains, it pours. Here it is. Damage straight onto Taco, and down he goes. Looks like Dean stealing the kill from the sidelines. Cheeky little rat. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Hoodwink works so well in a draft like this as well, where she can do that classic Hoodwink play of sitting sort of off to the edge and in the back line and just throwing out her spells. Because again, that hero will just melt if someone gets on top of it, but they don't have the heroes or the items or the net worth.
You know, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, like, what is this Visage doing? Not the player. Ham's playing the hero, like, as well as it plays in this game, but it didn't get that hyper acceleration that it needed early, and now all the hero can do is stand high ground, throw out soul assumptions that do literally no damage to that Centaur War Runner. Like, maybe initiate with the familiars, but I don't know. I don't think Visage is relevant here at all. Africa going in, trying to go into Naj, actually manages to get the BKB out. Ari popping his BKB and still just standing and punching the racks. Winds up his ult and holy, there it is. BKB is still up on Naj. Naj actually gets feared and Rain just going straight on into this Visage. Visage actually baiting, dropping his axe to keep himself alive. Africa playing the side of these fights. It looks like Rain tried to run off that Death Prophet. There's the BKB coming out from MGC. MGC turning and trying to medfight. This Shadow Fiend gets him. Down he goes. That's a kill. They managed to kill the god, the raid boss that was standing in front of them, but it's going to cost them a whole bunch of their lives. Illity getting a beautiful pushback off, and down goes MGC. Africa still on the sidelines, managing to burst Ham. Ham is dead. Oh no! RFA trying to slow down this aggression, but don't think he's going to be able to do it. Acorn bouncing off the tree to kill the Tusk. The Tusk is dead, and so is the Ogre as well. Taco put on the bench, and there's still a whole bunch of very scary heroes here in their base. GG is called. First game going the way of BegN for a PegN. Ilstaya.
Yeah, they just executed their draft better. And I mean, I said at the start, I quite liked rating this draft, but I don't know. I think the Haj had a good lane.